The DC Life Uncensored is back. We got Holly Holm, UFC world champion, with us. Right around the
How's
corner.
it going?
Miesha Tate, how you feeling?
I feel good. It's just, I'm at the grind right now, a lot of hard work, training every day, and that's just what my focus is right now. And there's a lot of things that I've even put on the back burner until after the fight because I just want to focus on this fight.
We know that training is obviously physically exhausting, but we see the ringer that you're put through media-wise. How just mentally exhausting are the days?
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's the mental aspect of it. There's a lot of time that goes into media as well, and we wouldn't be able to have these promotions without media behind it, so I understand that. And we wouldn't have jobs if we didn't have people covering it, so there's a big appreciation I have for it, but there's definitely days that I just need to shut it off because it's time to just focus on the fight.
And then this has, again, been relatively a quiet lead up, considering you and Miesha haven't had much back and forth. And again, it was the same way with Rhonda until a crazy weigh-in all of a
Yeah.
sudden. So I want to touch on that real quick on the weigh-in. How surprising was that to you at the moment? You were like, where did this come from, kind of?
Yeah. I didn't, it definitely surprised me, but it was fun. I mean, it's go time. It's just, I thought, you know what, she's in it. She's emotionally in it. She's ready to go. So I'm right here.
And then last time I saw you, everyone saw you, the whole town, and then there was the press conference afterwards. There was a lot of talk about just the UFC running you around, a lot of media. So what was it like when you were finally able to stop doing all that and get back to training, because we know that's what you wanted?
It was awesome. And then there's, of course, some people that just stop by the gym, and it's like, sorry guys, but I just don't do that here, because that's where I want my kind of quiet time to be, my sanctuary. That's basically my office. So to get in there and do that, there's been a lot of media inside and outside of the gym, and so it's just been, I think that's been the biggest challenge. But I'm really fortunate that our team and everything is kind of like, nope, we shut things down here because it's all about the fight, and all this wouldn't be going on if it wasn't for the fight. And when it all comes down to it, it's all about the victory. So that's what we need to focus on. And I feel like everybody's here is very supportive and understanding of that, and I'm very thankful for that.
We know out in Australia when you won, the family, the coaches, the staff that was with you there, that had to be really emotional. But when you got back here to New Mexico, you got to the gym and you saw the team, people like Conrad, the people that put in time, what was that like?
Oh, that's just, moments like that you can't even explain. It's like, those are the people that put in the literal blood, sweat, and tears with you. So I feel like those moments are just like, just a deep breath, fresh air, like, oh, thank you. We did it.
Now, coming for the Miesha Tate fight, we look at it, striker versus grappler. A lot of people are, this is different than Rhonda. She's going to come and bring at you with the wrestling. We know your game plan pretty much. We've seen you doing your striking forever. But what's a nuance of this fight that people are overlooking?
Well, I keep getting better. I'm becoming a well-rounded fighter. And in the last fight, Rhonda put me in a lot of situations that were not in striking. There was a lot of attempts of putting me on the cage, putting me on the mat, going for an armbar. So I think that people are seeing that I do have other things that I can rely on. So I think that's the biggest thing for me, is to believe in it myself, to know that I've trained so hard in those situations, and to really push forward with it. And I know that I have the stand up there too, but any punch can end a fight, whether it comes from me or her. So you can go a whole fight and be technically beating someone, and then they land just the right shot. You look at knockouts, they're not necessarily the hardest shot of the night, they just hit just right. So even though she's known for her wrestling, I still know that watch out for those hands, something might come.
Many years, we know way back, there was a Keith Jardine card you were on, so you were bouncing back and forth between boxing. So there was a long time awaiting you fighting Rhonda. But for you, was there a long time also waiting fighting Miesha, because she was a Strikeforce champion? She was at the pinnacle of the women's division also at one point.
Yeah, I felt like that was somebody that I would get to, later on. I didn't know that I would be fighting Rhonda before Miesha. I felt like it would have been the other way. But I don't know. I guess I didn't really think about it too hard either. But yeah, this was something that didn't seem to be like, when I started MMA, it wasn't like, I saw Rhonda as being my next fight. But I do feel like it still came soon, which is great. I mean, what am I waiting for,
And then with all this, how are you able to step back and enjoy these moments?
Sometimes I'm running around all the time and just sit down and take a deep breath and just take it all in. I'm actually going to Mexico after a month after my fight, and I'm really looking forward to just kind of taking a deep breath. And my focus is to want to win the fight because that'll make that trip a lot more fun. So I have a weird way of thinking things like that. Like, that trip's really only going to be fun if I have a victory, so let's put the hard work in now.
Makes everything a lot nicer, right?
Yes.
The victory celebration.
Yeah.
And then the victory celebration last time, what was that like for you being on the trolley, going down Central, and then seeing the mass of people cheering your name in Civic Plaza?
Oh my gosh, that was just unbelievable. Took my breath away, gave me chills. Brought a lot of tears of joy. It brought a lot of emotion. Who's really ever got to experience that? I really don't even know. Some of the greatest fighters in history, I don't think have had something like that. So I just think about that and think that's just, that was intense, and that's a big deal. So.
And then you've been our local star for so long. You talked about, somebody in Times Square,
Yeah.
Hey, great fight, Holly.
Yeah.
How is it now going from this local star to this mega star?
It's been, I'm just trying to take one day at a time, just kind of ride the wave one day at a time and enjoy it while it's happening. I don't want it to pass me by and think, oh my gosh, how did I not, kind of really take that in while it was there. So I think that's it. Take it in while it's coming, but don't get, I don't want to be so asphyxiated on thinking excitement from the last fight that I'm not focusing on training for the next fight. So it's kind of a balance. You want to take that moment in and really realize what just happened, but guess what? We saw something else, and so just to keep that balance.
And you're too kind with, your time and generous to us, the media, with it.
You guys are awesome.
Is there any question that gets kind of repetitive by now?
Yeah, I guess sometimes when people just say, so are you training hard? It's like, well,
What else would
I
I be
would
doing?
hope so. I would hope so. But when people know that's what you do, that's kind of the only, you're trying to talk common ground. You're trying to talk something, of an interest. So, it's not really a bad question. No question's a bad question, so.
And then one last thing. A lot of people, if you don't know Holly Holmes, you don't know how funny she is, how bubbly she is around the gym and stuff. So when you saw Rhonda, do you think, I bet I could do some Saturday Night Live hostings and skits myself, just because we see your personality and your joking side?
You know what? If I was going to do Saturday Night Live, I think I would want to do it back in the day when it was like Chris Farley and Adam Sandler. Nothing against Saturday Night Live, but if I had my pick, I would want to do it back with them. That would have been fun.
UFC 196 is March 5th. Holly, thank you for the time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Always.